Alrighty. Let's wait and see if people come in. That would be great. Let's see, I want to make sure I see your messages. Where were those? I don't know. Your place where. Let's see if somebody comes. I don't know. I don't see like anybody coming. Okay, well, anyways, what I'll do is then I'll record it and then you guys can watch later. How does that sound? Okay. The purpose of this video is basically to introduce my store. I was trying to do this on Google Meet, so I could record it and then fix the recording or whatever, but I think it's good. First of all, I want to thank everybody for joining my channel. I am so honored to have this many followers. It's not very much for me, but for me, it's an amazing amount. Just so anybody knows that doesn't know, I'm not in Oman anymore. I moved back to the United States. I'm actually sitting in a terrible coffee right now, waiting for one of my children to get back from an interview. Yeah, so but let's go and look at what the reason and the purpose for this video. Again, I wanted to make sure that you all get a sense of what I've been working on. And so hopefully I'll see all of you again very soon. So share the entire screen. Share. Oh, okay, multiple window. Let's see. Okay, so what I'm going to go here to by Melissa.com. This is my website. Basically, what it is, it's an LLC, it's a Minnesota registered company. So what I've done is I'm creating a curriculum. The Town Suite is the schools who like to invite me to do assessments for their schools. So basically, how schools want to do background checks on teachers, right? So I would, if a teacher signs up with me, then I would do a background check on that teacher course. I will contact their references. I will send their references an actual paper, including like a rubrics assessment, telling me everything about that. The rubrics assessment is on that page as well, so that you can kind of see the questions I'm asking. And then, just like you want your teacher to be verified and all that stuff, I would like to get the opportunity for schools to get verified on my end. And it's basically a quality of assessment, quality of assurance assessment for a teacher that would be looking to move to your school. It doesn't cost you anything to get that assessment. You know, if you want me to fly out to your school and it's in a different country, yeah, I would. You know, I'd want my meals taken care of, and I'd want my lodgings taken care of. So, maybe the flight. We'll see down the road. But for the most part, it would just be the assessment itself is not going to cost you anything. So yeah, that would be something. But then you would have me working for you, like indirectly, like your information would go on my webpage. You would be a school that's involved in the Members by Marissa world. Okay. The MBM penthouse is basically what subsidiaries I'm working on opening and implementing in the future. Educational story is kind of what we're going to talk about right now. So what I've done is I've started my own educational resources center. That's pretty cool. All right. And so you can go through here. Right now it's pretty small still because I'm still working on it. Basically we have A, E, I, O, U. So in the ones here, let's go back. I've got some cute stories that I've written. This one is about Allie, is the youngest alligator family. The focus letters are A, so they're highlighted with the soft. The A is red and the other letters are black. We talk about our main character, Anna, Arthur, Amelia, and support who are supporting actors. Allie is the main character. And the other story that I've written with A is Apple. Apple is a little girl. She's from Washington, and she one day goes to the park with her grandmother, and she meets these lovely fairies, and they are the names of apples. Okay, so I also did some handwriting type things for A. If your children are really struggling with their handwriting, I am going to be starting to do more of these. I just really haven't had a whole lot of chance to do that. Allie the Alligator Unit. If you want to get the whole unit where it's some activities and everything, that's fine. I have been gifting this unit to some schools. Your school would like to have a free gift from me. I have been giving that away. Apple's Adventure in the Apple Orchard, the unit. Okay. I've been sending a link for this as well to kind of see, to give you an idea of what would be included. The Allie the Alligator story only, and Apple's Adventure in the Apple Orchard story only. We're going to go back. So E is Awina. Awina is the main character of my entire series. So Awina is the princess of her elephant tribe. Her father and mother support her and have trained her to be brave, okay, compassionate, and a leader for the youth in Botswana. She will have many adventures in the upcoming months. So you would have a chance to join us by doing that. So Awina is princess of the elephant tribe in Botswana in the Delta of Okavango. All right, so the book itself is basically a kindergarten through grade 2. Kindergartners, unless they're really excellent readers, probably not going to be able to read it, but it's something that they will listen to. It's not very long, it's about 10 pages, but it's a very colorful book and this type of thing. I'm writing a grade 3 book. You know what I mean by grade 3 book is that I'm developing my own curriculum. So the book is about a grade 3 level. All right. It's going to be grade 4, grade 5, grade 6, and then I'm going to backtrack and do grades 1, 2, and 3. So basically, this is the first chapter, and I wanted to be able to put the first chapter out there, so you teachers and kids can get excited about Awina in the land of crowns and clovers. All right, so part 1 or chapter 1 is the prophecy of the Emerald Path. When we last met Awina, she was wandering through the warm, sunny savannah on a bright morning. Suddenly, she noticed the soft green glowing shimmering in the distance. The light grew brighter and brighter until right before her eyes a tall glowing door appeared. Through the doorway, she could see green trees and what looked It's like a stone steps leading somewhere new. Tugging at her mother's leg, or she says, Iowina gasped, and she raced back to her mother and father. Tugging at her mother's leg, she said, Mommy, please come with me. Her voice shaking with excitement. Her mother quickly ran to her father and said, My dear, Iowina is excited and said that we must go with her now. Please stop what you're doing so we can go see what's going on. Her father, annoyed a little as he was working on a speech and didn't want to be disturbed, knew that his wife interrupted his chain of thought. It must be important. He called to the guard, and asked the elders to join, as there was an event happening in the savannah near their home. Okay, so this is the beginning. This is not all of chapter 1 that I just read. This is parts of it. Okay, you can get these on my store. It's only $3. And I think in Omani real, that would be like 1 real. A little bit less. It's like 1 real. Just the first part. But Lady Marissa is working on the rest of it. I'm still in chapter, I think I'm in chapter 3. Chapter. I can't remember which chapter I'm in, but I'm working on the story. So if this is something that looks exciting to you, I would love for you to stop by and buy it from me. Okay, let's stop presenting. So Miss Marissa's book will be coming out soon, probably end of September. I've been very busy with some family situations, so I've not had a whole lot of time to write my story. Hopefully that will change very soon. If you are a school that's looking for me to come and do an assessment, if you are a school that's very interested in purchasing my book in advance, you can reserve with half payment down the story. If you would like to purchase this for your school, the story for your school, like for your third graders, just let me know. And what I can do is I can give your all student copies and the teacher resource book that goes with this story. It'll be like a curriculum. I'll be giving it. I can give it to you guys, including if you give me a nice bulk order. But like I said, the book itself, not the curriculum. Curriculum is, curriculums take time. That will be probably done or be near finished by January. So if you're looking for something that's a little bit new for next year, even we can start getting those book orders in. I would get them printed here in Minnesota and shipped out to wherever you are. Okay, so anticipate that, like I said, the book itself will be done by hopefully end of September, the book. The curriculum for English will be a sample of it will be ready to go for any schools that are interested. A sample will be ready by maybe January. And if it's something that you think your school would like to have, even just the English portion right now, we can get that out to you hopefully starting in the fall. All right. It will only be sold on my store though, until I can get the ISBNs and everything up on there. The curriculum for this English series, which is also going to be math, science, SEL, and social studies, will be available eventually, hopefully by the end of next year. But the English portion I should have done pretty soon. Okay, after I get the book done. So like the book is basically the core of the class. So basically, I don't want to be a spoiler alert or anything, but the book itself is going to be like a story about Ireland, the history of Ireland, the current situations. It might include places to visit, this type of thing. I've never been to Ireland. I would love to go to Ireland, but I have not been. But my heritage, my ancestry is in Ireland, so someday I'll go. Yes. So please go visit my website at https membersbymarissa.com. You can find an educational story there. I would love to do great educational business with you. Oh, so I was going to tell you, the book itself is the actual what we'll use for English. All of the benchmarks for grade 3. A grade 4 book will go into her other portions of the UK, since Ireland is not considered part of the UK. So we've got she'll go and visit Scotland, Wales, England, like this. That would be pretty much grade 4's story. Grade 5, she stays in Africa, so she'll go to several different African countries. Grade 6 book will go to Asia. Okay. When we circle back, and her that book will grade 1's book will be she goes to America. Grade 2 will be she goes to the Pacific Ocean area. And then grade 7. So, and the reason I'm doing this is part of my holistic curriculum. So my holistic curriculum is called HANDS. It's a holistic, it's a holistic curriculum that includes about everything. Based around, I want to open a school someday, or collaborate with a school owner who's looking to open a school, who wants more of a activity-based education type thing for their kids. And what do I mean by that? It's not just like inquiry learning. According to a doctor who's a pediatrician at Philadelphia Children's Hospital, she said, and I believe this is of many pediatricians out there, that children need at least 3 hours of active play a day to be considered well-rounded citizens. And what I've seen when I've come back to America, unfortunately, is that a lot of children, they get out of school, they get after school, they're not supervised. Parents aren't aware of what's going on because they're working, and these kids are getting into trouble early, going to juvie. It's kind of sad. They're getting into drugs early. They're doing bomb threats. It's just because they're not supervised children after school. A lot of schools do after-school activities, but this after-school activity isn't an activity. It's actually part of the curriculum. So what my basis is that grades 1, 2, 3 would have their learning blocks in the morning and like an hour and a half siesta, and then come back and do activities from 3 until 5. So they have a full 3 hours of active play. But these activities are sewn into what they're learning in the morning. Now grades 4 to 5, 6, because kids are getting older, they're sleeping later. Their activities will be in the morning. There are 2 hours of activities in the morning. They would have a different break time, and their subjects will be in the afternoon. So the day goes from 7 in the morning until 5 at night. Grades 1, 2, and 3 are only in school Monday through Thursday. Grades 4, 5, 6 are in school Monday through Thursday, but they have their assessments on 4, 5, 6 for Friday mornings. not every Friday morning, but like maybe once or twice a month. And once a month, we have an all school like different days, obviously, but all school to do a field trip or something. My school idea is that they would still get technology, but it's going to be very balanced. It's going to be in school only. It'll never go home because I believe that kids have their tablets from school. They take them home and then they don't have any family. They don't have everything. And family is really important in the school that I would like to create or help someone create in their place. Education starts in the home. It's only right that parents should be a part of their child's education throughout. It's only right that parents should be able to come to school and learn with their children. Activities sent home should incorporate family. So that's why when they don't have homework, they won't ever have homework. They might have projects. The projects are not going to be based or taught, or they're not going to be like created based on individual children. It's going to be based on mom and dad and children doing it together. Because if the family is not involved in their children's learning, then the child will never actually get out of it what they're supposed to get out of it. If that makes sense. So, if you would like me to come to your area, I'm in the United States. So if you're in the United States and you're like, hey, I really like your idea, and this person on YouTube, I'd like to talk to you about putting a school in my town. And I'd like to meet with you. I'd like to have a virtual meeting first, and then maybe I can bring you to my state and try to open something like this in my state. Let me know. If you're overseas, we can do the same thing. I've been to Oman. Those that don't know, I've been to Oman and UAE, and I've been to Uzbekistan, and I've traveled a bit before I came back to America. I'm looking to get out and get going again, so that's the thing. Again, if you're interested, let me know. You can find all my contact information on my web page. Remember, these are business contact information. I only usually answer the phone if you try to call during business hours, Monday through Friday. But I will not. I will not usually answer you on the weekend if you leave me a message or something through WhatsApp, or hey, I'm so and so. I know you won't probably answer me this weekend, but I'm really interested in knowing more about your educational program. That's something we can discuss. So I hope you enjoyed this live stream. I know on YouTube I don't go live very often. I do it more on TikTok, but I've been really stepping back and really focusing on getting something started here. Again, if you have any questions, let me know. You can also comment here. I think there's a comment section. Once this gets posted, just let me know what's your thoughts. If you think it would work where you are. If your community would really love to start something like this, that would be amazing. And the one thing really important about this school that I haven't actually said yet, it's this teacher pipeline. So I know, like in Minnesota, which I don't think a lot of people know this, but that charter schools, private schools, parochial schools don't need. They prefer, but they don't need by law certified teachers. Okay, just so you know that. I don't think a lot of people know that. All right. And even some places don't even need you to have a degree. You just have to have your high school diploma. So in our school, I would like to physically train teachers in case, so our school would have KG1, KG2, KG3, or maybe we start with grade 1. Okay, we start with grade 1. And they would teach according to the HANDS curriculum. They would learn how to relate with students. They would learn these different things. Teachers can be just out of high school. They would get experience in teaching early. They would get experience teaching overseas. They would get experience teaching different cultures. You give them classes and coursework, and you pay them for both training and teaching because it is their time. The first semester is completely basic shadowing of the teacher, helping her out like an assistant. The second semester would be a little more involvement. Maybe the teacher will let her or him teach a subject or a class once a week for this type of thing. The third semester would be more like a student teacher, where he is going to be teaching more full time. The classes would only be in the first and second semester. Third semester, they would have to write a thesis, like why this has helped me, or now I understand what teachers have to go through, or some type of paper of what the benefit of this program would be. The fourth term, if they pass the third term, they become the teacher for that class for the rest of the year by themselves, not a student teacher, because it's like giving them a first year experience. They would have someone come in and reevaluate them and evaluate them and everything. They're not like completely by themselves, obviously, but they are like, there's the certified teacher or the trainer comes in there maybe once a week and does an observation. Parents come into the classroom. Parents are there to also assist. Because I believe that most people that love children, of course, now these teachers that come in there and train, they would get a certificate from me, from my school, from Members International School. Okay, this certification from the school will not allow them to teach in a public school because they still don't have a bachelor's degree and they still don't have certification. But they could teach in my school. All right. Once they finish their first grade, maybe they would do first grade and second grade because we would add another year, right? So they would start with first grade, they go to second grade. Once they finish their second grade year, they can teach second grade again, or they can go into grade 3. They can follow those kids throughout and up to grade 6. Right now, I don't have any plan of opening anything above grade 6. Maybe this would change as the school becomes more popular, but it is, if, like, for instance, if you were in Oman, and let's say Oman, because I spent a lot of years there, and I know a lot of my followers are from Oman. If you were in Oman and you said, oh, well, what would the school be called here? It would be Members International School of Oman. So it means all the course subjects would be based around what you need them to be based around. It's a very versatile curriculum. It doesn't mean that you have to have it in America. It's not an American curriculum. It's not British. It's not national or internet. It's an international curriculum, basically designed to allow you to use it in any country. Your core subjects might be Arabic and English one day, then they might be math and science the next day, but actually that's not true. The math, the science, the social, that's SEL will be incorporated into your core blocks. So if you have an Arabic block and you have like an English block, or you have an Arabic block and you have an Islamic block, it doesn't matter. whatever that block is, the subjects will be incorporated into your main 2 blocks that you find to be the most important for your country. So if Islamic was really important in your country, you would have an Islamic block and you'd have an Arabic block. In the Islamic block, maybe you could incorporate English into it, or maybe you could incorporate social studies or SEL, because not all Islamic is Arabic. There's countries that have Islamic that are English. So you can teach English and Arabic and Islamic into your 2 blocks. They would just be incorporated into those subjects. Your afternoon activities, again, would be synced to your core subjects. So if you wanted to teach Quran, that would be synced in to what they're learning in Islamic at the time. You get me? That's what I'm talking about. Like for instance, okay, let's say Arabic. You're teaching Arabic as your core subject. It's your core block for that day. Maybe you want to teach something about science or math in Arabic. The kids will still get the concepts of what they need, but it will be done in a language that they understand. Or if you're in a Spanish-speaking country, it's the same thing. It doesn't matter what you decide your 2 blocks to be. The curriculum would then be situated in which the course topic is the core topic, and these are incorporated into. Let's say you want Arabic as your core subject, not English, Arabic, because you're an Arabic-speaking country. You want Arabic-speaking children. So in Arabic, we would translate the English text, the English book, into Arabic, where they would read it from the right to the left, yeah? No, from left to the right, yeah? Wait, right. Anyways, we would do it where Arabic starts on the other side, not the English side. And then we would write the book and all the benchmarks and everything of an English composition, which would be the benchmarks that they would need for grade 3, but in Arabic. Okay. If you wanted them to have English as a secondary subject, you would have Arabic on one side in these books and English composition on the other side of the same page, but in English. So there'd be a transliteration or a translation of the Arabic, so they would have both English and Arabic. That way you could still teach composition either in Arabic or English. And it would go all the way to the end. Islamic is your second core subject. Maybe you would incorporate SEL, which is, feelings and empathy and these different things that they're supposed to have anyways, right? In Islam or Christianity or whatever, you're still going to have these elements in there. So again, the elements would be in English on one side and Arabic on the other side of the pages. So it would be like a combination of both. So if you teach it in Arabic, you would teach it in Arabic. If you wanted to teach it in English, you could teach it in English, but it would be incorporated in both. But then your activities in the afternoon, you would work with your activity teachers, your PE teachers, your science, your STEAM, or whatever activities that you incorporate at your school. Because kids need 2 hours of activities after school. Whatever those activities are based on your culture, then you would incorporate into what they're learning in their core subjects in the morning. So that's just basically what the school idea is. It's the school model, concept. Okay, and that's what HANDS is. And yes, I do have my benchmarks and their codes and what the kids are supposed to have done it all. It's written. I just have to get it published. I haven't done that part yet. Okay, so if you are interested and you see this and you see my live here and you're just really, wow, Marissa, you've really gone over the top now. That's great. I'm excited. So I'll let you know. Okay. All right, so I gotta go. I gotta get ready. I don't know where my child is. They're supposed to come back. I don't know where they are, but I might have to just meet them because we have to catch the bus back. So I'll talk to you later, okay? Bye, guys. Thanks for listening.